from Joe. What team did you love playing against the most?
The team that I loved playing against the most was probably the Chicago Cubs. I think it was the Cubs because I love playing at Wrigley, and I love when the Cubs came to Busch, and that rivalry is just there's something sweet about it. Both teams like really hate each other, and I just remember going to Wrigley. I think that was my favorite park outside of playing at Busch, just because it was that old school feel. The fans are right on top of you. You can hear them screaming obscenities and all that stuff, and you just feel like you're almost playing in the backyard. The way that the field is kind of constructed in the stadium, and you know that the greats played there. So definitely that Cubs Cardinals rivalry when I was with the Cardinals was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely they don't like each other at all. It's when William Contreras, I'm surprised that he got that ovation when he came back to Wrigley because of him going to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Um, who was your favorite player growing up?
My favorite player growing up was Tony Gwynn. I grew up in San Diego, so watching Tony Gwynn do his thing was it for me. Just seeing the way that he sprayed the ball all over the field, didn't strike out. That was like the type of player that I wanted to be. Just somebody that was able to hold, like, control the bat so well. Was Mr. Padre. Like, everybody knew him in San Diego. Like, so that was my guy. And then also Gary Sheffield. I love watching Gary Sheffield, how aggressive he was with the swing. But also very disciplined at the plate, was able to take his walks. But you knew he was a force to be reckoned with in the middle of the order. So those two were by far my favorite players.
Yeah. Speaking of Gary Sheffield, I saw you did an episode with him as well. Do you feel that he was robbed for the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I definitely feel like Gary Sheffield was robbed. I just look at the numbers, and I mean those stand out to me big time. I think it's just really it comes down to being tied to PEDs, right? And if there's certain voters that feel like that you're tied to that, and they're not gonna budge, that was kind of the case. And also, um you can tell that the Hall of Fame is also something that people want you to be liked. Like, they want you to be a personable presence. They want you to do well with the media and whatnot, and that was not really Sheffield. So I think there was definitely some outside factors that had nothing to do with actually on the field, that kept Gary Sheffield out of the Hall of Fame so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I actually came on here when they announced the class, and we talked about Gary Sheffield not getting in, and I was disappointed in the voters because there's a couple people that should be in, like Bonds. There's no doubt in my mind that he should be in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose,
Mm,
like guys like that who were greats, but
yeah.
they're just not going to get in because, like you said, they're not people, or like they just had that link with the PEDs.
Right.
Um, is there any advice that you have